Hello friends, I'm Ivan. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the world's most urgent yet underreported crises: the war and mass atrocities in Sudan. We'll explore what is happening, how we got here, who is responsible, the devastating toll on civilians, and why the world absolutely must pay attention. Please be aware that some of the scenes and descriptions in this video are very difficult. Viewer discretion is advised. Since April 2023, Sudan has been engulfed in a brutal civil war between its national military, the Sudanese Armed Forces or SAF, and a powerful paramilitary group called the Rapid Support Forces or RSF. The conflict, which began as a power struggle in the capital, Khartoum, has now spread like a wildfire into the western region of Darfur, as well as Kordofan and other states. In places like the city of El Fasher in North Darfur, civilians are trapped under siege, subjected to relentless shelling, drone strikes, and mass killings. This isn't just a war. It is, as one source put it, the world's largest humanitarian crisis, a catastrophe of displacement, famine, and unimaginable suffering. To understand how we reached this point, we have to look back. The Darfur region has been in turmoil for decades. From 2003 to 2005, what is widely considered the Darfur Genocide unfolded. The Sudanese government, then under Omar al-Bashir, backed Arab militias known as the Genocide. Together, they targeted non-Arab African ethnic groups, including the Fur, Zaghawa, and Masalit people, with a campaign of mass murder, rape, village destruction, and forced displacement. It's estimated that at least 200,000 people were killed in that period, and over 2 million were forced from their homes. The roots of this violence are deep. Historical grievances, the marginalization of Darfur by the central government, ethnic tensions between nomadic Arab tribes and settled African farming communities, and competition over scarce resources like land and water. The current war is not an isolated event. It's a terrifying echo of this history. So, what's driving the conflict today? It's a complex mix of political, economic, and ethnic factors. After the overthrow of dictator Omar al-Bashir in 2019, the planned transition to civilian rule was unstable. The SAF and the RSF, who were once allies, became bitter rivals for control of the country. The RSF is commanded by Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo, better known as Hemedti. He was a key figure in the Janjaweed militias of the past, and now his forces are once again accused of ethnic targeting in Darfur non-Arab African communities, especially the Masalit people, are being targeted for eviction, killing, and sexual violence. Human rights groups have described this as a campaign of ethnic cleansing and potentially genocide. This is all layered on top of those long-standing disputes over land and resources, which were made worse by past government policies of Arabization. To complicate things even further, this conflict isn't just internal. There are accusations that external countries are providing weapons, funding, and political cover to one side or the other. For instance, Sudan has accused the United Arab Emirates of arming the RSF, thereby enabling these horrific attacks. So, let's be clear about the key players. You have the SAF, the official national military. Then you have the RSF, the powerful paramilitary group accused of mass atrocities. The primary victims of the violence in Darfur are the non-Arab African ethnic communities like the Masalit, Fur, and Zagat. On the international stage, you have governments like the United States, which has officially determined that the RSF committed genocide in Darfur. You also have bodies like the International Criminal Court, or ICC, which has an ongoing investigation into crimes committed in the region. The term genocide is not used lightly, but it is being used by governments and human rights organizations in this context. The evidence is chilling. There's the clear targeting of civilians based on their ethnicity. There's the systematic destruction of entire villages, the mass displacement of populations, the targeted killing of men and boys, and widespread sexual violence against women and girls. Organizations like Human Rights Watch have documented these systematic patterns of violence, supported by satellite imagery showing entire communities burned to the ground. In January 2025, the United States formally determined that the actions of the RSF and their allied militias in Darfur constitute genocide. The human cost is staggering. Since April 2023, more than 12 million people have been forcibly displaced from their homes. Think about that number. Over 30 million people, more than half of Sudan's entire population, and desperate need of humanitarian assistance. In Darfur and other regions, famine is taking hold. Disease outbreaks are rampant. The healthcare system has completely collapsed. People have no access to food, clean water, or shelter. And even the camps for displaced people are not safe. They are being attacked. For example, RSF assaults on camps in North Darfur threaten the lives of people who have already lost everything. As we've touched on, this conflict is not happening in a vacuum. Sudan has even taken its case against the UAE to the International Court of Justice, claiming the nation is complicit in genocide. The war's fallout destabilizes the entire region, sending waves of refugees into neighboring countries and posing a major security threat. Despite the scale of this crisis, the world's attention has been tragically limited. Many analysts warn that this silence and inaction amount to complicity. What is happening in Sudan is not simply a war in a distant land, it is a warning to all of us. It is the price of ignoring systemic injustice, ethnic hatred, and the failure of the international community to act. When we look away, we risk allowing history's darkest chapters to repeat themselves. So I encourage you, share this video, talk about what's happening. If you are able, consider donating to humanitarian organizations working on the ground. Let's keep the people of Sudan in our thoughts and in our conversations, because when we refuse to look, the worst atrocities become easier to commit. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Let's keep building a community that cares and acts. I'm Ivan, and until next time, stay curious and stay compassionate.